Usually, if our catalyst is not learned mentally, it becomes physical. If we're not keen enough, imaginative enough, aware enough to take those hints from our mental, emotional experience, those things that challenge us, and we ignore it, we avoid it, it tends to become physical. Now, there are some physical catalysts that are pre-programmed already when we come into this life, because they serve a more constant purpose even when we're young. So this may be the case in that sense. But how is it serving you today? Still.
I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Because transformation, as you know, is not a process of exclusion, but inclusion. And understanding, not avoidance or ignoring. So let's look at it. How is it serving you today? Or how has it not yet served you because you've not extracted that type of awareness, that type of experience from it? What is there for you to still be extracted? What could you potentially still learn that would benefit you and your journey, your life, from that same catalyst? What have you not extracted from it yet in terms of beneficial learning experience?
What I feel like when I try to see it from that perspective now is that I'm only kind of taking guesswork.
That's good.
At how it's benefiting me, but I can't seem
That's
to find
good.
some...
Well, that's why you came here.
Yeah.
So you can guess and I can help you guess. So guess away.
Well,
how is it still serving you? And or how could it potentially be serving you if you looked at it in a different way, or if you extracted something else from it, or applied it in a different way?
Well, something that's always kind of, that I've always thought about is kind of finding complete contentment and happiness within having these kinds of feelings and emotions, which is the case sometimes, but definitely isn't always the case.
Yes. Good. Why not?
So that could be one.
That's all right. Why not? Why is it not always the case? How do you define those discomfortable feelings sometimes, the sensations? How do you define them negatively still at certain points? And why? Whatever you define in a negative way will cause you suffering, because negativity is lack. Negative energy is the vibration of believing lack exists when it cannot. So in what ways are you projecting lack onto those sensations?
I guess I'm believing when there's like a certain amount of pain happening, that happiness can't coexist at the same time.
Awesome. So a lack of happiness, a lack of freedom, therefore, a lack of free will to be happy. In other words, it's an obstacle implying lack, no? So obviously then you don't feel good about the catalyst, the presence of the pain in this case. Okay. Why do you define it in such a way? Do you believe that's actually true? Do you believe it's actually implying lack of happiness? Do you actually believe happiness cannot coexist with that kind of challenge?
No.
So you can see that it does, or that it can coexist?
Definitely.
Can you tap into that coexistence? Can you imagine a moment of discomfort or pain, and at the same time sense the lightness that is presence, that is awareness, that is here, that is now? The aliveness, the freedom of choice. Can you see that to a very great extent? You can ignore the pain. And by that I don't mean ignore the learning experience from the pain. Sometimes to teach yourself how to ignore the pain is actually part of not ignoring the pain, but utilizing its lessons. So when I say ignoring the pain, is emphasize the other presence, the simultaneity of the happiness, and get so lost in that, get so soaked in that, become so enamored with that, that at some point you look back upon the last 10 seconds, or the last 10 minutes, or the last hour, and suddenly you notice, I did not experience pain. I cannot say for sure whether the pain was there or not, What I can say for sure is I was not aware of it. Now, pain is a great catalyst to experience freedom of mind, freedom of choice, freedom of state of being, the freedom you have to choose the frequency you wish to experience at any given moment, regardless of circumstance. And the physical body is a circumstance. It's not who you are. So pain can be a very effective means to discover that you're not your body, that you're frequency consciousness. Consciousness having certain frequencies, choosing certain vibrations. So to have that free-floating experience of, hey, I can be here, I can be there, I can experience this and that, and it can all be there simultaneously, and I can pick and choose. I can choose how I wish to experience myself, how I wish to express myself, what I wish to be radiance of, what I wish to send out in that sense to the rest of myself, regardless of circumstance. Pain is a very palpable, constant, usable experience to become really powerful in that sense. To become really free, to discover your free will, your free choice, that first creation of infinity. Infinity in action, infinity in freedom of choice, free awareness, free will, free choice, freedom. So commit yourself wholeheartedly to the happiness at the expense of your allegiance to judging pain. Shall I repeat that sentence, or did you get it? You'll take a repetition? Commit yourself wholeheartedly to the freedom of your being, the happiness that is your choice at any given time, regardless of circumstance, at the expense of your allegiance to judging the pain. And when you don't judge the pain, you cannot also see the pain. As soon as your judgment or your idea about something disappears, the thing you had an idea about also disappears from view. And so you discover the emptiness of things, quite naturally. The illusory nature of appearances. You see that they do not exist to you if you do not define them first.